can Kyrie carry these Celtics?
Boston will go out in the second round, 5 or 6 games.
You got Milwaukee taking them out?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Now, that said, the question is how far can he take them? He could take them to the NBA Finals. I've said all season long.
You have.
Right? Milwaukee, Toronto, and Boston are all very close. I would not be shocked if he got them to the NBA Finals. I would be shocked if Philadelphia and anybody below them, Indiana, any of those teams got to the finals. I would not be shocked if Boston did because they are that good. But and when they get beat in the second round, people may say, oh, they went further without Kyrie. Last year, they were better without Kyrie. I don't want to hear that. That's nonsense. They are not better without Kyrie. If they lose in the second round, as I'm predicting, it won't be because he's the problem.
Right.
Okay, last year, they could have lost. People forget. Milwaukee took them 7 games.
Yes.
And that was a Milwaukee team that's not even close to what they are now because Brad Stevens had a huge coaching advantage last year over Milwaukee because Mike Budenholzer wasn't there. Budenholzer is there now. I think the talent of the two teams is very similar, but Giannis is better than Kyrie, even though Kyrie's better in the clutch. But Giannis is a better player overall. And Budenholzer and Stevens is probably a wash. They're both great coaches. So they won't have any coaching advantage. And then against Philadelphia last year, they had a huge coaching advantage. So they've either had a talent advantage or a coaching advantage. Like now, they're going to beat Indiana because they have a talent advantage. When they get to Milwaukee, it's going to be even. And so Kyrie is playing great. I think the bright spot of last night, if you're a Celtics fan, is that perhaps, and I do believe this may have happened, the pecking order was finally set. The Celtics' other players finally realized, okay, he's the man.
He is.
Right?
Finally
He's the
realized.
guy. You know, and
They didn't know that. They didn't know that.
I don't think they knew. I don't think they knew. They felt, hey, we got to Game 7 with LeBron last year without Kyrie. They fought against it all year. But last night, and he got guys involved. He wasn't just ball hogging. He got guys involved. Tatum was able to get his 26. But when push came to shove, Kyrie showed them why he's Kyrie Irving. And now I think they get it. And also, Marcus Smart's injury, while he's a very good player for them, it does allow Terry Rozier to play more minutes with Kyrie. And that was effective last night. So, look, I like Boston. I like what they have going. I just think Milwaukee will beat them next week.
Well, he can take them all the way. He can take them. I agree with you because he and he and Kawhi are the only two guys that's been on the biggest stage. That's the NBA Finals, Skip. And we know what this guy's done. He's a big shot taker. He's a big shot maker. Game 7, it doesn't get any bigger than that. And he was willing to pull up with 15, 20 seconds on the clock and drain a 3. A lot of guys are like, well, I'm going to try to get to the basket. Like, nah, I'm going to take that. I'm going to end this right here, right now. Because I know I got Braun to back me up. If I miss, he's going to grab the rebound. But that's neither here nor there. Skip, that was a big-time man.
A little different.
Last night, he put everybody in the blender. He was shaking them up, and they got no answer. And like you said, Indiana is just talent deficient.
Right.
If you got Bogdanovich, if you're going to put the ball in his hand, that's going to be the guy down the stretch that's going to win you the ball game. You're going to lose to Boston every time because Boston is supremely talented. I'm surprised that it even got to this point. They were trailing by 7 in Game 1, trailing by 11.
Yeah.
So that tells you, okay, Boston, very fortunate. But Skip, Kyrie is special. There are not 5 guys in the clutch you'd rather have the ball in the NBA right now. 400 players. There are not 5 guys in the clutch you'd rather have the ball in their hands other than Kyrie.
Which is why your man misses Kyrie Irving.
He misses us too. You rather have Jason Tatum or you rather have LeBron? You rather have Al Horford or you rather have LeBron? You rather have Rozier or Jaylen Brown or you rather have LeBron? So don't pretend like it's a one-way street. You missing us too.
The Lakers don't have a closer. He closed again last night. He is special, and that was a special night. So was James Harden, by the way. We're not talking about him, but that was special.
Okay.
But this young man, the show he put on, it was just dazzling. The ball handling, the handle, the lift, the fallaways, just unstoppable. And he's not the biggest man. You know, what do you give him? 6'3"?
6'1", 6'2",
6'2", 6'2".
Wow.
But he's like he's not a big man. He's slightly built.
is.
But boy, woo.
He's one of the best finishers. As a guard, he
As a
might be
guard.
the best
With
finisher.
either hand at the rim.
Right.
So I sat back last night watching this, and I haven't been able to figure out Kyrie Irving all year long because he has alienated all those kids in that locker room at different points, and they've fired back at him, and you're right. He just said, okay, watch this. But I don't know exactly from night to night or interview to interview what I'm going to get from him because, listen, this is my conclusion about him and KD, his new bestie, his new, they're the dynamic duo that could just change the whole landscape of this league on July 1st. But these two together, in all my time watching the NBA, they're the most thin-skinned, unpredictable, mood-swinging, over-emotional, dynamic duo superstars that I've ever seen. And they're the same because they're so volatile from interview to interview, what you're going to get from them.
Yep.
And then, again, another reference, Brian Windhorst, but he reported that after Game 7, 2016, Kyrie had hit the shot of shots, and he goes, according to Brian, went in the locker room, and he's angry about something that nobody could ever figure out, but he was just angry, and he wouldn't celebrate with his teammates, and he ends up FaceTiming Kobe Bryant, LeBron's sort of arch rival.
Yeah, that's why I did it.
Okay.
Well, maybe that moment wasn't what he thought it would be because you remember KD's like, well, you know what, this is it. And maybe Kyrie says, man, I thought it was like the heavens was going to open up and everything, but you want to.
That's unfortunate if that's the case.
Yes.
And they both have, KD's alluded to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe it was Kyrie.
So,
that's unfortunate.
And then
if
Brian
that's the
Windhorst also said after Game 1 against Indiana, Kyrie had just an okay by his standards game, and the final buzzer goes off, and he runs over and hugs his father and sister, and Brian compared it to Tiger Woods winning this Masters on Sunday. Like it looked like Kyrie had just won the ultimate championship. And it's, what are you doing? You know what? I don't know what he's doing. I can't explain any of it, but I just know that between him and Kevin Durant, the talent is off the charts in both cases. Where they are as special as it gets. Those are two of the most unstoppable scorers this league has ever seen, ever.
Yes.
No question.
Yeah.
And they're just so moody, unpredictable that I have no idea what they're going to do on July 1st because they probably don't.
Can I ask you a question? If winning a title, the first in the Cavalier history, hitting the shot of shots, playing as well as he played throughout the entirety of those Game 7s.
He did.
If you're not happy then, what's going to ever make you happy? Because even if he goes to Kevin Durant's 1A. Kevin Durant is 1. He might be 1A, but Kevin Durant's 1.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
what's gonna ultimately make Kyrie happy? Chris, do you know?
It wouldn't be something. It'd be something. It's something you have to deal with inside yourself, outside of basketball.
Right.
So that's what it would be. Like I said, I hope that's not the case. That they aren't. And I'm not saying I get it. It's good that everything doesn't revolve around basketball for them. They have a balanced life. But your basketball, Kyrie, that shot, off the top of my head, I would say that's the second biggest shot in NBA history. The first being Ray Allen's shot.
Wow.
You know, what's the greatest comeback ever?
That Jordan shot at Utah was pretty big. Is that?
It was Game 6, though.
Yeah.
I give you that.
If Ray Allen missed that shot,
might be more iconic, but Kyrie, first championship for Cleveland in 52 years, which might not mean anything to people outside of Ohio.
No, but it was huge.
But in the 3-1 comeback,
I give you that.
you know,
complete that.
73-win team, but whatever the case, to your point about KD and Kyrie, about their sensitivity, and I do agree with you. However, I will say this in their defense. This is an era that we have previous eras of athletes never had to deal with. That's one thing that makes LeBron, for all the passive-aggressive tweets, it's impressive that he's been able to handle it for the most part the way he does, right?
I'll give you that.
They are under scrutiny. These types of shows, Jordan never had this.
No.
Yeah.
So we scrutinized Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving on a Tuesday night in Utah, Game 57 that doesn't even matter.
Right.
Jordan, we only remember the makes. Magic, we only remember the great moments. But if they had been scrutinized like this, some of those guys
And forget us
may have had
because you have these other social media platforms.
Right.
Everybody get to criticize you. They get to add such and such. You suck.
Right.
So now,
no
The
question.
other thing about Kyrie and KD, They're both deep thinkers to me.
Yes.
They go way deep, second, third level thinkers. Michael Jordan was not a deep thinker. I was around him a lot. He thought he wanted to play basketball and golf in that order, and he wanted to gamble on both.
Yes.
That's how he was.
Right.
Like he wanted to bet his life on basketball and any amount of money on golf that you wanted to bet. That's what he was.
And cards, too.
And, yeah,
he loves
cards.
to gamble.
Okay.
So the only thing-
Anything to compete.
Yes.
Just to compete.
Yes.
Well, that's it. But he didn't think twice. Like
No.
these kids are always thinking like, what
Well, when it came to
does it
basketball-
all mean?
Right.
No, Skip. When it came to basketball, he
That's
wasn't
true.
thinking. I know I'm better than you. I know my team's gonna beat yours. And if you bet me, I know I'm gonna take your money.
That's it.
You're right, though.
That was
Skip,
the only.
I agree. The overthinking things, it just makes you look at all the angles and can make you upset.
What is my life?
Yeah.
How would I be remembered? What is my purpose?
Like KD's explanation yesterday, that was a deep explanation about Patrick Beverly.
It was.
oh, I could.
But I just want to see you just take him to the hole.
Remember,
but it was a great explanation.
Kevin Durant.
Oh, yeah, he did
Y'all
throw that
know.
in.
But
I'm
OPBA let
KD.
that happen.